Blue Lock is currently having insane beef, as in this chapter we see Isagi and Karasu clashing with each other a bunch, as they even start to scream. After that, we see Hugo getting a bit freaky with Isagi towards the end. Alright, starting off this chapter also called for the blue. We get right into it, where we see most of the Blue Lock players being over the moon as they come rushing over and start to celebrate. We then get to the commentators, who say that Blue Lock Japan has caught up, explaining that this white-hot match is just getting started. Now, while that is going on, and everyone seems to be super happy, Isagi seems to be a bit concerned over all of this, as he looks confused and lost. He wonders to himself just what it is that is happening in Blue Lock right now, wondering about where this team is trying to go. After that, he stands in the middle of the pitch completely alone, and it gets silent around him as he can just question what it is that he should believe in. He looks over to Ego, who it looks like is looking towards Isagi himself, and Isagi says his name. Just then, Karasu comes by and calls out to Isagi, which sends Isagi back into reality real quick. Karasu looks super sweet as he puts out his hand and tells Isagi that they should keep on using this method. Now Isagi is just at a loss for words as he says that, but Karasu says that they are covering him too heavily, so the plans that they practiced aren't going to work. He continues and says that he is going to focus on helping to set up shots like what he just did now. Then his sweet expression turns into a much more serious one, as he explains that he will figure out new ways to score goals without Isagi, telling him that it's the only way that they can possibly beat France, and asking if he isn't right. Isagi looks at him, still a bit lost, as he just says, "Sure, however, it isn't there that everything ends," as Isagi really locks himself into the conversation, as he asks Karasu if he is okay with throwing away his life as a striker. Hearing that seems to leave Karasu in awe this time around, as he firstly looks to be confused as he just asks Isagi what he means, saying that it isn't like he is throwing it away. Karasu goes deeper into it as he says that he knows for a fact that Isagi has done the same thing before, explaining that he does stuff like temporarily assist to help set them up to win. Isagi looks at him straight ahead and tells him that it's true and that he has done it before. Karasu then tells him that it's just the same thing that he himself did now, saying that if he wants to talk about life as a striker, then what about Gagamaru, who is currently playing goalkeeper, or all the guys playing defense, saying that none of them are strikers? Isagi right here is struggling to come up with a comeback to Karasu's argument, and says that it's just something about his new attitude that doesn't sit right with him. This makes Karasu extremely kind of disrespected as he asks him what he means, saying that he can't just go and diss him if he can't even verbalize it. After that, he gets this awesome looking panel where he has an aura coming right off him with a bunch of feathers around him. He stands up with a phenomenal posture as he tells Isagi that, unlike what he is doing, at least he is trying to change for Blue Lock's sake. Hearing that sentence makes something tick in Isagi's brain, as it finally looks like he came up with something. After that, he tells Karasu to hold up, telling him that it's just that which has been bugging him. Karasu looks back and asks him what he means. Isagi then explains that he just said that he is doing it for Blue Lock's sake, anything besides playing soccer for themselves, telling him that this isn't the way of the egotist. We then see a small panel at the bottom where we have Karasu's eye, and it looks like he got super annoyed. We also see HIORI, Bachira, and Chigiri looking over there as they start to wonder what it is that is going on, as they most likely started to overhear their conversation. Isagi then continues with his speech, as he says that all of them are aiming to be the world's best striker, explaining that Karasu deviated from that philosophy because of what Hugo said. Isagi then puts his hand on his chest and looks so insanely dope as he says that now he is prioritizing the team's victory as a second best, ending it by telling him that it's not the Blue Lock way. That whole speech makes Karasu look super angry and outright pissed off as it gets dark around him, and he tells him to then go on and score a goal, calling Isagi trash, which now I don't want to pick sides, but it's a bit unnecessary, I will admit. Hey, it's Natsu mid-editing here, and I just wanted to pause the video to ask you to subscribe if you haven't already, and while you're already down there, why not leave a like as well? And honestly, I feel like Isagi agrees, as he is super caught off guard by that, as he doesn't even understand what he means with it. Karasu then is the one who gets into a deep speech, as he says that since he isn't effective as a striker, he is trying to change based on their opponent's opinion, asking Isagi what it is about that. He takes a deep breath as he asks him if it would be the Blue Lock way to let France kick their asses just for Isagi's sake. It then looks like Karasu's eyes really get lit with some sort of insane determination as he looks straight at Isagi deep into his eyes and tells him that it looks to him that the one spinning his wheels and acting like number one and trying to ruin Blue Lock is Isagi himself, also ending it by calling him an ordinary person, which, yeah, is not necessary at all, to be honest. Anyway, Isagi heard it, and it makes his entire world get flipped upside down as it gets blank in his mind. After that, he completely locks in, and he gets super close to Karasu as he screams right in his face that he is thinking about Blue Lock as well. Isagi screams so hard and gets so angry that his face veins even start to pop out, and he looks furious as he tells Karasu that he is working so hard and that he has been racking his brain about what he needs to do as the best in Blue Lock, continuing and about to talk more about Blue Lock. But Karasu then cuts him off and tells him that he just said it himself. Isagi just said that he did it for Blue Lock, and with that, he asks Isagi how in the world he is any different from him, and that makes Isagi get a real reality check, it looks like, as he doesn't know what to say anymore. But luckily, the captain of the team, Aiku, then arrives just in time as he breaks it up and puts his hand on Isagi's head and shakes it around a bit. He tells them that it's enough and tells both of them to just chill out. He starts to smile as he looks at them and explains that they are both right and asks what if they are trying to think about it all in another way, saying that there's no denying that Karasu's method got results and the egotistic philosophy Isagi's talking about is important too, so let's make use of both. He puts both of his hands together and says that they will fight with all that they have got while finding a new shape for Blue Lock to win. He then starts to smirk and gets a bit of a devious smile as he asks them how it sounds. Isagi sounds a bit hesitant, but he says sure, and Karasu says that it's fine by him, as he says that in any case it seems like it's time for Blue Lock to change. And as he says that, we can spot Ego sitting and chilling on the bench, and I wonder so extremely much about what is going through his mind at this exact point. We then move on to the France team, and Charles says that they caught up to them, and he says that it's super annoying by them. Loki adds on to the conversation as he says that he himself thinks that it will be more fun than shutting them out. Hugo, the dead-looking guy, adds on that he is on Loki's side, and that it sounds good, explaining that he will keep leading this field towards its destiny. And with that, the restart of the match is on, as Hugo passes the ball over to Loki on the side who catches it right away. Loki already has a steam of aura coming off his body, but to try and stop him, it's Rin who looks like he's about to enter his beast mode, and I believe that it can be his time to shine soon. Anyway, he tells Loki to just try it and calls him a perfectionist freak, telling Loki that he wants a goal so badly that he can't stand it anymore. With that, we see that the matchup between the two of them is beginning, and Loki responds to Rin's trash talk by telling him that he is the exact same and that he is also dying for a goal. We then get over to Isagi, who is currently in his own head. He thinks that they have settled on their strategy for now, but that they haven't solved the fundamental issue yet. We then get a close-up right to his face as he continues his inner monologue and says that the goal that Karasu and HIORI made will be hard to use now that France is ready for it, explaining that its reproducibility is too low. He looks at the current battle between Loki and Rin and says that nothing will change unless he can make himself effective, but there's no way in hell that he will live as the second best. Just then, Hugo creeps up right behind Isagi, and he is actually like right in him. Almost, he goes right to his ear and slightly whispers to Isagi that second best is just another kind of ego. Isagi is just in total awe, wondering why this creep is almost right by his face. He then looks to his side, where they catch each other's faces, and Hugo tells him that being the best isn't the only way to live. Isagi, however, can't even start to begin to wonder about what it is that Hugo is telling him, as he instead has to act quickly, so he gets some distance and slaps away Hugo's hand. Hugo then continues and tells him to listen up. He says that he will tell him about his ego as second best, and now that scene before was super weird, but I can't sit here and lie and say that the line just now wasn't super cold. Anyway, Isagi seems to be pretty confused and pissed off by Hugo's actions, which I really can't blame him for. Anyway, the next chapter will be called Double Joker, which can be about a lot of people, for example, Baru, Shidu, and Kunigami. However, I do think that we will get something involving them in the next chapter, but if I'm honest, then I can't find any news about whether it will be a break week or not, so we will just go with that it isn't, and hope for the best. To be fully honest, moving on, I just need to say that personally, I really enjoyed this chapter. I do find it super interesting seeing their values and ideals crashing with each other, and it was super intriguing to learn how both Karasu and Isagi see what it is that is going on. So if I were to give this chapter a score, then I would give it a straight 8. But please let me know your favorite moment of this chapter down in the comments, and also what you would rate it on a scale from 1 to 10. Anyway, if you like Blue Lock and videos like this, then I would highly suggest you subscribe to this channel, and while you are at it, leave a comment and a like, as it helps out with the algorithm a ton. And if you are curious to see another video of mine, then please watch the video that will be popping up on the screen now. Anyway, thanks for watching, and have a great day. Bye.